There are moments in history that remain shrouded in mystery, even after centuries. One of the most puzzling of these is the Roanoke Colony, established on the shores of what is now North Carolina, only to vanish without a trace. How could over 100 people simply disappear? Were they all killed, or were they mysteriously taken somewhere else? Today, we will dive into one of the greatest enigmas of history. It was 1587. England, driven by the ambition to establish a foothold in the newly discovered lands of America, sent settlers to the New World. With the Queen's support, Sir Walter Raleigh organized a group of colonists to make the perilous journey across the Atlantic. Their dream was simple yet profound: a new life, new lands, and a fresh start under the English crown. This group arrived at Roanoke Island, a remote location along the North Carolina coast. Among them were men, women, and children, ready to carve out a future in an unknown land. Yet, none could have imagined that their settlement would become one of history's greatest mysteries. In the beginning, hope and determination flourished. The settlers built homes, planted crops, and explored the surrounding forests. They fished along the coast and gathered food from the land. Life was difficult, but there was a sense of promise in the air. One notable moment was the birth of Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the New World, and the granddaughter of colony leader John White. This event symbolized the potential for England to establish a lasting presence in America. However, challenges soon emerged. The climate was harsh, supplies were limited, and tensions with local Native American tribes began to rise. Disease and hunger became pressing issues, threatening the very survival of the colony. John White, realizing the gravity of the situation, returned to England to seek reinforcements and supplies. He promised the settlers he would return quickly, but no one knew how long the journey would take. England, meanwhile, faced its own crises. Tensions with Spain escalated, culminating in the threat of the Spanish Armada. These events delayed White's return for years, leaving the colony isolated and vulnerable. Finally, in 1590, White managed to return to Roanoke, only to discover a scene that would shock him and baffle generations of historians to come. The colony was gone. Not a single soul remained. Homes stood abandoned, fields lay fallow, and there was no sign of struggle or mass migration. It was as if the 115 settlers had simply evaporated into thin air. The only clue left behind was the word CROATOAN carved into a post, and on another tree, the partial letters CRO. What could it mean? One prevailing theory suggests that the settlers may have integrated with the nearby CROATOAN tribe. However, John White found no evidence of their presence. Another theory posits that the colonists moved inland to survive, but if this were true, why leave everything behind? Why abandon homes, tools, and belongings without a trace? Theories abound. Some historians argue that hostile native tribes wiped out the settlers. Others speculate that Spanish agents may have been responsible. And then there are those who believe in a more supernatural explanation, that a mysterious force consumed the colony. Native legends speak of cursed lands where those who entered never returned, adding an eerie layer to the mystery. Further complicating the puzzle are reports that some individuals among the local tribes in subsequent years had fair skin and light eyes. Could this be evidence that some Roanoke settlers assimilated with the CROATOAN people? Or was it simply coincidence? Every angle seems to deepen the mystery rather than provide answers. Archaeologists have excavated, historians have scoured records, and explorers have searched the surrounding areas, yet nothing definitive has surfaced. The fate of Roanoke remains a tantalizing enigma, a story of human ambition, survival, and inexplicable disappearance. Imagine the scene: families full of hope, children playing, men and women working the land, all striving to build a new life, and yet, in an instant, they vanish without a trace. What truly happened? Were they victims of famine? Did they succumb to disease? Or did darker, more unfathomable forces play a role? As we attempt to piece together their story, we can explore the environmental challenges they faced. Roanoke Island was subject to shifting tides, dense forests, and unpredictable weather patterns. Food sources could become scarce, and the delicate balance between humans and nature was constantly tested. Settlers had to hunt, fish, and farm, often under the looming threat of both natural and human dangers. The social dynamics within the colony also played a crucial role. Leadership disputes, differing priorities, and cultural misunderstandings could have influenced decisions that ultimately affected survival. John White's absence for several years left a vacuum of authority, potentially contributing to the colony's vulnerability. Some historians propose that the colonists may have planned to move collectively to a safer location. Yet, the total absence of physical evidence makes this theory difficult to confirm. Could they have been absorbed by a local tribe or dispersed across the wilderness, leaving only whispers of their existence behind? Beyond practical explanations, the Roanoke colony captivates because of its profound mystery. The very concept of an entire settlement vanishing challenges our understanding of history. It provokes questions about human resilience, the unpredictability of nature, and the limits of knowledge. For centuries, Roanoke has been a canvas onto which theories, myths, and speculation are projected, making it an enduring subject of fascination. This is a story not only of loss but also of legacy. The carved word, CROATOAN, remains an enduring symbol of what was, and what might have been. It invites us to ponder the choices, struggles, and courage of those who dared to leave the familiar behind for an uncertain future. Even today, Roanoke continues to inspire research, storytelling, and imagination. Archaeologists excavate with the hope of uncovering new evidence, historians revisit old documents seeking hidden clues, and storytellers reimagine the lives of the settlers in novels, documentaries, and films. Each generation finds a new angle, a new question, and perhaps a new theory, keeping the mystery alive. As we reflect on Roanoke, we are reminded of humanity's fascination with the unknown. The vanished colony symbolizes both our desire to explore and our vulnerability to forces beyond our understanding. It stands as a testament to courage, ambition, and the fragility of life in the face of nature and the unknown. 115 people, men, women, children, who stepped into the promise of a new world, leaving only faint traces and unanswered questions. The Roanoke colony endures as one of history's most compelling enigmas, whispering to us across centuries, inviting us to search, wonder, and imagine. What ultimately became of the Roanoke settlers? Perhaps we will never know. Yet their story continues to captivate, reminding us of the mysteries that lie hidden in history and the enduring human drive to uncover the truth.